Hey guys! I'm Melissa.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Erica.
Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times. Guys, I miss you so much.
I miss you too, Han. How sad that we literally live down the road from each other and it's still far
We
enough.
might as well not live there.
But you guys at least see each other like Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah, that is true.
where I haven't seen you guys for like
That is
6
ridiculous.
weeks.
I'm so done with this. Like, honestly, I'm fed up. I'm done. I'm ready to hand my notice in.
I think I was fed up when they announced the whole staying at home, if I'm honest.
I thought you were going to say you were fed up since you were born.
That too.
But did you guys ever think that we would ever be part of this? Because in a weird way, it's like history. We will look back on this.
Never in my life. We literally...
Well, I've seen so many memes that they like, when your kid in the future tells you they're bored, be like, well, if we look back at 2020, we couldn't leave our house, so that was bored.
Mama's Code.
Like, imagine if this would have happened, I don't know, 15 years ago when it was just Nokias and you had Snake on your phone. Imagine how.
Nah, that would have, or like you had to connect your internet with that cable.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're so lucky that we have technology on our side.
We would be ruined.
But do you think we would be ruined because we know about social media and the internet now?
But
Imagine we didn't know about it. Do you still think?
I think it would literally impact a lot of people more than it is like nowadays. Because if you think back then, most people didn't have like, cable. So you only had like 1 to 5 channels. You had your,
and dial-up
your
tone.
dial-up tone. Yeah. So it was like, your family is going to want to talk to your family in Colombia. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have to disconnect from your MSN chat. You can't even see, like you'd probably have to, and do you remember the pictures you would take on your webcam and they would be like pixelated. Yeah.
Like you can literally...
So you wouldn't even be able to see the other person properly. Like now, you can video call and et cetera, and you can have like loads of people in a call. Back then, probably half a person could be in a call.
And to be fair, like now, if your internet was to go, like if your Wi-Fi was to drop, you still have your data anyway, so you're just always connected. You're just living through people's stories.
And I'm surprised at how well the internet has coped with everything.
But do you not find that sometimes it kind of like goes for, I don't know, I felt like sometimes I feel like my internet goes after 12 and I'm like, what's going on? Like, do they just...
12 p.m?
Yeah.
I'm asleep at that time, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm trying to be sleeping by then.
Well, that's when my scheduled sex is put in, so,
I have noticed that during the day or like on the weekends when it hits like 6, 7 p.m, everyone on your Instagram is just live. Like,
do you not find it cute?
We are, please?
Do you not find it cute that everyone's like become a dancer or, a chef? Everyone's like, I've seen so many people post like a picture of their messy fridge and then they're like tap here and then the next picture is like a clean fridge. And I'm like, wow, we have time, boy.
Do you know what? Pre-quarantine, what the fuck is TikTok now, mate? It's my career.
At the beginning, they were talking about how to make your own mask with boxes, and I sent you the picture of my mum.
Yeah.
That is what quarantine is doing to people.
Literally. But it's good because it just shows you, like that instinct to stay alive. And it's so much things that you learn. For me, the part I found more difficult and even like I struggled with it at the beginning was thinking, oh my fucking God, I have to cook every single day. Because, you can't get a delivery. And even if you could, you kind of think like, oh my God, what if the person like cooking it coughs on my food and then I get coronavirus? Like I'm that paranoid. and I'm not even going to lie. We've had like 2 takeaways. Like in the middle of the night when we're like, oh my God, we're starving. And as soon as Ollie walks in with that bag, I'm like literally spraying him and I'm like, throw away the bag,
burn it.
Dettling the food and everything before you eat it.
Yeah.
It is cute though. Like I do agree with you. It's cringe for some people, but it is really cute that now like everyone's getting to do things that they wish they had time for. Like everyone's on the bloody banana.
Oh yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
Everyone's doing like new recipes. like so many new things, and it's cute, and I think it's just bringing everyone together. And now that person you have on Instagram, you're like, oh my god, hey sis, and you're like, I don't know you, but you're cute, like let's be friends.
Hi sis.
Yeah,
like I love when people put up like they're cooking and they do like the step by step, and I'm like, oh yes,
screenshot.
give me more. Yeah.
Food envy.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, there's like pros and cons to this quarantine thing. I feel like at the beginning I felt very stressed out with the whole situation, you know, food running out and stuff. And as an overthinker, I started thinking, shit, you know, we're not going to have eggs, I'm not going to have fruit. And my kids eat for days. So I just kept thinking like, you know, them asking me for something and me not being able to provide. But now it's kind of like calmed down and you can find everything. I don't know if I told you guys, but the other day I was talking to my colleague and then I was on Zoom to him and then he showed me 4 chickens and I'm like,
What?
Paul, what the fuck? Why do you have 4 chickens? And he was like, oh, mate, you know, like there was no eggs at the beginning of this quarantine. So we went out and bought 4 chickens and I was like, but there's eggs everywhere now. And he was like, yeah. Well, luckily there was no, he how could he drop? Oh, luckily there was like still milk or else I'd have a cow in my backyard as well.
That has to be up there with one of the best stories I've heard yet. Who buys chickens?
The funny thing is everyone was running to buy toilet paper, but he's running to buy chickens.
Chickens,
like, he was thinking,
yeah. His priorities
He's going places.
And I'm like, I was like, Paul, do they even give you like eggs every day? He's like, no. And I'm like, so what's the point of that?
Mama, I love you.
I was thinking that about the delivery thing. Has it not turned you guys into paranoid psychos?
Yeah.
When anything comes into the house, like even if it's the postman putting like letters through the letterbox, the way we're spraying it and we get gloves and we're like, no, like you're about to bloody put off a bomb or something.
I'm not like that, you know.
It's not right. I can't live like this.
With packages, I always put gloves on and then like I disinfect. With letters, I always have Joel screaming, Mom, you have a post. And I'm like, no, just leave it there. So I search on Google how long it lasts on paper. And it normally says like 3 hours. So I just let 3 hours pass and it's just laying there on the floor. And then I go get it and then I just wash my hands.
You just stare at it like, okay, your time's up, mate. Let's see what's inside.
Yeah.
We do the same actually. If we get like any food delivery or anything, we just leave food or package out like in the balcony for a couple of hours, and then we bring stuff in and we have like the clean section and the not clean section. So we literally take things out and like Dan's cleaning it and then it goes to the clean section. And if you make a mistake and you put something that's not clean in the clean section,
game's over.
Oh my gosh, that's it. You need to start all over again.
Do you know what? So Jay, obviously, he's the one that's been going out taking the dog out, and the amount of times that this guy has almost like basically tripped up and fallen on his face because he's come back from outside and he's now like, okay, how do I open the doors without touching the door handles? How do I get to wash my hands without touching anything? And then say, for example, like a shoulder touches the door frame or something, he's not, oh my god, like he's literally trying to balance himself so he doesn't fall over and touch anything else. It's the funniest thing ever. And me and Leo are just looking at him like, are you okay there? Like if coronavirus does not get you, you are for sure going to trip up and break an arm or something.
It's quite scary because, you know, a hand or like shaking a hand or giving someone a hug, I think after all of this is over, we're going to be excited to see everyone again, but I don't feel like we would shake people's hands so freely or hug people so freely anymore. I think we'd always take a step back and be like, oh, do you remember a couple months ago when, you know, we wasn't even allowed to like do this? I'm a bit like, what's the word, Como? You're scarred for life.
I mean, I'm not really a toucher or a hugger, so
that's true.
I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, neither, but I have people at work that just think, you know, oh, let's hug her. I think I have a huggable face.
No, you really don't. Who are you lying to?
Well, then why do they hug me?
I think they're just being polite.
Sometimes I even just hold things in my arms so they don't feel like they need to, but then I just get the hug and I'm just like,
they want to see you smile, so they'll continue to do it. Do you think you'll be all right with the kids touching things once everything goes like once lockdown is over?
Well, I can't not let them touch things.
Yeah.
Because even now when we go for walks, like I have Caden rolling on the floor and Joel, and there's not much I can do. Because if I become like I'm a firm believer that, you know, the way you feel, and if you're stressed out, you pass that stress on to your kids. So if I'm stressing and I'm like, don't touch this, like I'm already with Joel, like if we're in a park and he wants to go like, you know, play near some sticks, but there's someone there, I'm like, Joel, you can't, because, you know, someone's there, like he's there. And he's like, oh, does he have the coronavirus? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. You know, you just can't go near people. So he's very understanding in terms of that. And obviously because Joel's obviously the leader from our pack in terms of Caden does everything Joel does. So if obviously Joel goes and like se revuelca en el piso, Caden's obviously going to do the same. So if I'm like, oh my God, no, or if like I've got like, you know, trapo and like cleaning, disinfectant in my pocket, people are just going to think like, you know,
psycho.
You're a psycho. Because if realistically, if you think about it, this is not going to end in 2-3 months. We're going to live with coronavirus for the rest of our lives now. So if we're going to, you know, if they're going to catch it, then they're going to catch it. Like, touch wood, they don't. But, you know, it's that thing, like, I don't like when they get a flu or, you know, when they get fever. But it's algo that it's inevitable for them to, you know, if they, like in nursery, I personally don't like Caden or Joel putting things in their mouth, but it's just the way kids
they discover.
Play. Yeah, and the age they're at. But even like, you know, Caden, Maya and Lil, they're pretty similar ages. But Joel literally touched something and he'll just put it in his mouth. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just smelling it, Mummy, with your mouth.
Obviously with Jojo, you can kind of say to him like, don't do that, and he'll understand, you know, it's not nice, you shouldn't be doing it. But with like, let's say the younger ones under 2, you say no and they're like, okay, that means I can do it
They
again.
do it more, yeah.
Like, no, you're missing the point here.
My child screams. He cries and screams and he throws himself backwards. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere, babes.
Because even thinking like that, because we're going to live with this and lockdown's going to eventually end, you know, we're going to have to go back to work and we're going to have to, you know, still apply social distancing. But does that mean because you have to go back to work, then you're still going to be a psycho, you know, like doing everything you have to do? You're not going to enjoy life and you're just going to live stressed.
Because you're living with that fear.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, one thing, like at work, we're working on like a global program, you know, for return to work, like, and the policies we're going to put in. But if you think about it, like they're saying like the first people that they'll start sending to work are the offices because it will be the first thing that opens. This is my thing to them. How do we apply social distancing on a train?
Yeah.
On the underground, you
well,
can't.
look at what happened at the beginning.
So you're still going to be in a stuffy train.
When they were saying, oh, stay home, and the trains were still packed because obviously the key workers had to get places. Did you see those trains? Like, it's ridiculous.
It's like we're defeating the purpose. We're saying don't do this, but then at the same time, we're cutting down the trains, which we understand maybe why, but then the key workers, how are they going to do?
And even not just key workers but social distancing insane. It's like no one's taking it serious right now. Like I go to the park for walks with my kids and like people are having picnics and, you know, there's like 10, 15 people all together playing football. It's like, why? You know, there's actually people dying. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to feel this, you know, this encierro is literally getting to me. Like I just can't cope anymore.
I'm done, honestly. I'm telling you, like I'm done.
I feel like we've gone, obviously at the beginning we were on a bit of an adrenaline, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's new, we're trying to adapt. It's almost like in a weird way a bit of excitement because it's not something we've ever dealt with. And then we crash because we're like, okay, this is our new reality. And then we're struggling with that, especially like with the kids and, you know, the younger they are, maybe they're easier, but not really because they still need to go out. They maybe miss their routine of going to play groups or even just going to a park. I remember
just a stroll in a buggy.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't taken the buggy out since we've been on lockdown because I think, what is the point? I'm just going for a short little walk. If Maya gets tired, let me take her on her scooter because I don't want to take the buggy. The less things I take out means the less things I bring back that can be
to disinfect.
Contaminated, let's say. Exactly, to disinfect. But
I think at the beginning, it was kind of like I don't know for me, but I don't know about you guys. It was hard at the beginning, you know, because you're still kind of like, you're used to, you know, going out to work and you have like this different routine. And for me, it was, you know, Joel, I felt like he was getting so into school and his friends, and he was so excited about it. And then having that ripped away from him, it was really hurtful. And even till now, like every day he's like, oh, you know, I miss my teacher, I miss my friends. So that still plays a big role in my life, where I'm kind of like, oh, you know, it stresses me out not being able to, you know, get him to school. And he asks me every day, like, when are we going to go back to school? And then I'm like, Papi, you know, coronavirus. And he's like, yeah, but I don't have coronavirus. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, trying to explain. And he gets it to some extent, but it's still very, you know, he's kind of like, but there's still people. And I think it's confusing for him, because even when we go park, he sees people playing, he sees, you know, families together and having fun. And he's like, why can't we do that? You know, if he sees kids in the park running, his natural instinct is to go and look for them and play with them. He can't do that. So obviously that's the bit where it kind of affects you. But then you start thinking, you know, I had to like wake up really early, get both kids ready, take one to school, take the other one. And I just felt like I was running everywhere. So my life just revolved, you know, run here, then run there, and then catch a train to go to work, and then be work and get like stressed out, meetings here, meetings there, and then run back to pick one up and then run back to pick the other one up. Whereas now, quarantine kind of like, you know, you're kind of relaxed. Like you woke up, you were like chilled with your boys, like your family's safe. That for me, it was kind of like, wait, like let's take a step back and let's think of the positives of this whole situation. Because, you know, if you're stuck on the, oh, well, you know, he can't go to school, I'm stressed because I still need to work and he's asking me like 10,000 questions a day, I'm just going to stress myself out even more than I already am. So you kind of have to sit down and kind of, you know, I'm getting a breather, because I know we've all said it. We would cuss the person who invented a 2-day weekend, and now we have a 7-day weekend and we're all complaining. I
think as long as we try to take each day as it comes, because, you know, some days will be harder than the others, and the thing is, we're creatures of habit, so we start getting used to this, whatever this is, our new normal. And then if for whatever reason something changes, we're all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, okay,
panic mode.
You panic mode, and then you think, how am I going to cope? How am I not? I feel like try to think on the positives. It's always the best thing, really, because it can consume you if you start just thinking negative. And, you know, you have children and then it reflects on them, and you're that bigger person. They are looking up to you. So if you're panicky, then they're going to start feeling that vibe as well off you. So,
and I think also for you know, everyone at the beginning was saying this is the time for you to come with your new skill or start your business, or like, you know, this is the time that you wanted in order to, you know, pursue your dreams and your goals. But a lot of people kind of fail to see that there's some people out here that, you know, just because they're now home all the time, they're not going to see it in a positive. There's people that maybe, you know, were already depressed and this has affected them majorly. Maybe they don't like being lonely. Maybe they like to go to work, even though they hate their job. They like going out to see people, to get their minds off, I don't know, whatever's going through their heads at home. And maybe they're now feeling pressure that, oh my God, everyone is saying we need to get a new skill, and I have no skills. And, you know, there's so much, it's just like a balance on each side. Like, you get the people that obviously want to make the most out of their time and the positive, because I personally think this is a positive thing for everyone. But you will also always get the people that it's not affecting them the way that it's probably affecting me and you.
The whole, you know, you have to come up with a new like purpose out of this whole quarantine. Some people don't understand that, you know, just because I'm at home, it doesn't mean, you know, I don't have to homeschool my child, and my kids are like, they're not well behaved. You know, little angel sitting down, letting mummy work. I have to work 9 to 5. You know, I have to homeschool this kid. So at what point am I meant to, you know, get this new skill in place? Like, it's a nice thing to reflect on. And you can think of it like maybe in one little space you can read a book. That's enough. Like, even if you like, I think the most important thing here is for you to like take yourself back talk to yourself,
Yeah.
because, you know, when you talk to yourself, it's kind of like you telling your brain, look, we've got this, like, don't worry. And it's like Mel says, we're like, we get so used to things so quick that by the time this whole quarantine is over, we're going to go back to square one. Oh my God, no, you know, we want to be home again, like blah, 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 blah. Because there's still going to be the panic out there of coronavirus. So it's like right now, everyone wants to go out. And then when everyone's out, we all want to come back in. So it's like there is no win-win situation with anything.
It's important to kind of find the balance and not overwhelm yourself with too much things as well, and knowing what your limit is, because, you know, the last thing we want to be doing is saying, I want to do or achieve and get this skill here and here and do this and do that. And then all of a sudden you're stressing because maybe on Monday you didn't do everything you wanted to do. And now all of a sudden you're beating yourself up about it because you missed out on this and I'm going to fail because I haven't learned this and I said I was. So it's just trying to find that balance and not overwhelm yourself either, because there's no need. If you can avoid it, then why not?
Yeah, like you said, it's kind of not getting overwhelmed and ahead of yourself, and just taking a day as it goes, and whatever you did within that day, it's like, okay, reflect on it and see how I can make a better day tomorrow. Because, you know, what you're saying, you get used to it, like you adapt so quick. Like I know for a fact that when my partner goes back to work, I'm probably going to have more meltdowns than I was having before all of this, because before, like, I could deal with my son, just me and him in this house. But now, obviously, where he's been here every single day, it's that extra hand, that extra help. And it's like, okay, if I feel like a breakdown is coming, I'll just leave him with him in the living room and I'll go lock myself, or I'll go have a shower, or whatever it is. But once that's going to be, like, when that gets taken away from me, how am I going to deal with this? It's like adapting all over again and getting used to just me and my son again. And especially now, like he's grown over this time. Like he's moving about more. He's requiring more attention. I think it's also getting to him now.
And you know what? It's interesting that you say that, Moo, and that feeling of like, almost like you can have a bit of a breather because you know there's someone else there to keep an eye as well. You know, Dan went back to work, and funny thing, I said to him when he, like in the morning when he woke up, I said, I feel like the first time you went to work after we had Maya, after those first 2 weeks, you know that when you have butterflies in your stomach, like you're anxious, like you don't know what's going to happen, like you're almost a bit scared to stay at home, because I was so used to have him for 4 weeks, that he was here, that he could basically be Maya's main carer, and I could just concentrate on working from home. If I had a meeting, I could just lock myself away, do my meeting without having to like juggle. Whereas today, for example, was my first day with her again alone, and I still had to work, like Erica was saying, 9 to 5, while still making lunch, while still looking after her, while making breakfast, whatever, entertaining her, playing with her, because, you know, it's not as easy as saying, okay, sit here, here's a pile of, I don't know, paint, like crayons and paint, or you want to listen to some music, I'll put some music for you, but just stay here. It doesn't work like that. So
especially when their attention span is so small.
Exactly. And today I felt that scary, nervous feeling, and I just thought to myself, you know what, let me just take it day by day. Some days will be better than others, but we can work around it, and it's just about adapting all over again.
I think that's just the motherhood, to be in parenthood. Once you get used to your child doing something, they're just like, nope, 1 sec, and then they just change and do something else.
Do you know what I wanted to say as well before I forget and lose my thought process? But Erica, you said that, you know, about having a new skill. You may not see, let's say, homeschooling as a new skill, but I think it is.
Oh, 100%.
You know, I don't think you wanted to do homeschooling because if you did, Joel wouldn't have gone to school like when he did. So you're now you've got a new you've learned a new skill. You're having to sit down with him, go through the packs, and you're doing that. So I think parents who are homeschooling, that's a new skill. And if that's the only thing that you're doing extra, I think that's more than enough.
Girl, go update that CV.
And I think it's important to, because I've got a lot of mummy friends who sometimes are like drained, and like you say, Mel, like I'm tired, like I wake up and it's like doing one thing here and then meetings here, and then trying to, like, work is just piling up. And it's like going back to what you said, like people shouldn't put like pressure on yourself. I've been in that same boat. Like I feel like I'm not being the good mom, and I'm not, putting in the work at work. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Sometimes I just stare at my computer and I'm like, what is it that I'm gonna do? And then I have Jojo is like, oh mommy, come and play with me, and I'm like, I can't. But it's not that I can, because I'm not even doing anything in my computer, if that makes sense. I just feel like so mentally and physically drained that I just can't function, and I just wanted to like sleep and but it's that there's good days and there's bad days, because like Ollie gets home and he's like, how's today? And I'm like, it was okay. And he's been, bless him, he's been so helpful. I'm glad that he has had to go to work, because I think people that have their partner at home are going to find it so much more harder when we go back to reality. Because right now I know, like, I've been able to cope without...
To juggle it all.
Yeah, like, even though it makes me go nuts, I know that, I kind of structure my work around it. And then I make sure, like, Joel's taken care of, and et cetera, and I move meetings around where possible. Whereas if Ollie was here, I'd always rely on him to do everything. Stay with the kids, I need to go do this. Then I would feel like, but I've got my kid at home, It's something, as a mum, if we go back to our episode of Working Mums, we always said, why can't I stay at home with my kid,
And the
like, why is someone else why is someone else taking care of my kid? Now you're at home, you still need to work, but you're still giving your kid to someone else, whereas you can spend that time with them, if that makes sense. So in your mind it's playing up like, I'm here, I can hear him singing, I can hear him laughing in the other room, and he's not laughing with me. It's like I'm still stuck in this same routine.
And that you can stand up from your laptop, go give them a hug, and go back to your work.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, I said it myself. I know that it's going to be a bit, it's going to be hard once, my partner goes back to work, because of lenient in the fact that, all right, if he's crying, can you just take him for a minute, let me have a breather? Whereas when he's gone, it's like, is he allowed to stay at home by himself or like go to Tesco? So I mean, I can already see it, how it's just gonna be like, but again, I don't push myself so hard on it, because it's, if I dealt with it with a newborn when I had no idea what I was doing, not that I know what I'm doing now, but at least I know, like, okay, like I've got a structure to my day, and I know what, he's communicating more, so it's easier to kind of be like, what is it you want, kid? Like, but definitely I think it's going to affect a lot of people.
And I think a lot, like, I know especially with families, a structure is always a thing that we would always mention. How our day goes, from waking up early to get some work done before the kids, or the kid wakes up, to when they wake up to then start your day with them, then they go for a nap, and then you get some time again where you can work. So you're almost having to structure your life around your children and your work priorities, and trying to find a balance. And there will be days where it could be great and you can do both things good, and there'll be days where one will have to suffer over the other, and it's on those days that then you would say, okay, well, I couldn't get as much work done on this day, so I'm gonna now have to do a bit more on another day and make up for it there, or so it's about finding that structure. And the thing is, what works, let's say for me, may not work for like you guys, so you tailor it to what suits you and what works for your family.
Do you know what's working for me, guys?
Oh, God.
when my child wakes up, I just bring him to the living room and I just go back to sleep for like another half an hour.
That extra lying.
I've been waiting for that moment since he was born.
I've been having naps during the day, and it's like, and I remember like whenever I took to D or Steph, they're like, "What are you, a fucking baby? Like, why are you having naps?" And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just so tired.
What if you're going for a growth spurt?
I might be.
Might possibly.
Puppy. Good girl.
What skill have you learnt, Fish?
Me?
Yeah.
I've learned fucking patience.
Oh,
that's one thing I've learned.
I haven't.
Cheers to that.
I thought you said fucking with patience.
Yeah, that too.
Like, how does this
I'm
work?
still trying to get to terms with patience. Even before having Maya, I think my patience has never been too great anyways.
Oh, I've come to terms that I don't have any.
Yeah, she has tested me in another level that I never thought, and she's not even 2 yet. So, and she's not talking well either just yet. You know, they say the odd word or maybe the sentence, but they're not talking properly. So you can just imagine how it's going to be. I think skill-wise, I've become a professional poo picker.
Nursery song as well. She sings nursery songs.
Yeah. But definitely the poo picker. But where before the whole lockdown, my mum will normally is her main carer while Dan and me are at work. She will take her out every day. So whenever they were at home, my mum would always sit her on the potty, and that would be the routine. But of course, when she would go out, if she does a wee or a poo in her nappy, she does a wee on the poo. It is what it is. So we were quite relaxed. But being in quarantine, I just thought, why not make the most of it? So she roams around the house with no nappy, and then we're trying to get her to say, look, Maya, when you need to do a wee or a poo, here's the potty, sit down. There's been days where it's been great, and there's been days where you turn around and you're like, oh my God, there's just a piece of poo just laying there. You don't understand the shock. And I'm looking at Dan, he's looking at me, and we're both like, what do we do? While Maya's there going, oh, popo grande. And you're like, yes, un popo grande that I now need to pick up.
Have you stepped on any?
I haven't, no. And thankfully, this was a week ago, let's say, when we had the last popo grande incident on the floor. Since then, I can confirm we haven't had a popo grande on the floor.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I think the next step for us is to teach her to deal with flushing her own poo and everything, maybe, because, it's never pleasant. But yeah, I've become a professional poo picker. And I'm quite impressed by that skill.
Yes, round of applause.
Bravissimo.
Thank you.
I just want to thank my mum and my dad.
What about you, Jess?
I've become a professional eater. Guys,
I actually can't.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything good that I've done with myself.
Really?
You shaved the other day.
I shaved, yeah. I dyed my partner's hair.
You became a DJ.
I became a DJ on Zoom, yeah. Sliding my DMs. I think what's kind of kept me going and kept my mind, working is the podcast, the editing. I think it's what's been keeping me busy and sane and kind of connected to myself. And as we've mentioned previously, it's like we are something outside of motherhood. Like we are someone outside of it, and we do have a purpose. So that's, it's been great recording. And even though not in the best, scenario, it's still been that chat that, I look forward to every week.
Yeah.
To kind of downtime with my girls and just,
100%.
Doing what we've been doing. And having said that, like, I think I just want to take the chance to say thank you for all our listeners that we've had and all the feedback. Like, I think it's really, I can speak on behalf of all of us that it's really touched us because it's, it's so early on, but we've already kind of touched on our goals and our purpose of why we decided to start this podcast. And just seeing, the comments coming in every single day and the feedback is just amazing. So,
yeah.
And it's just great to know that we've made that mom feel that extra bit normal and special. I agree as well. Thank you. The support as well has been
has been good. It's been warming. Sometimes we don't like to take what's the word I'm looking
Credit?
for? Credit, that's the one. Like you're too hard on yourself, or you're just like brush it off when people say something nice about what you're doing.
I can't help but imagine like us saying thank you to all our fans, and then like loads of fans, like actual fans blow in. Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're doing like modeling pictures and the fans there and your hair's
and we're just like talking to like fans, and then they're just all blowing air at us.
No, but I think that's been the highlight of all of this. And you know what, I'm so proud of you guys, because I know that despite, you know, having your own actual 9-to-5 job, the kids running around, like you've also use this as your own escape from it, and you've had time for it, and you know, I think that's very important. And like I say, you just kind of stay intact with yourself, in touch with yourself.
Yeah, and you know what, you said some me time. Well, I got away with not making food for tomorrow by recording with you guys, so I mean,
bonus.
It's a bonus for me.
Did you just say boner?
Bonus.
Yeah, her click got
I think
boner.
The wine is getting to my head.
Are you drinking wine?
Of course, babe, of course.
I'm missing out. Can I tell you guys something? So my kettle broke.
Oh,
That's quite sad. Go the old school way.
I have.
Boil water.
And it's shocking. Anyways, apparently, according to Amazon Prime, I will have a new kettle by tomorrow. But yeah, my kettle broke.
What colour did you get it?
I think I got it black.
Okay, good.
Yeah, why?
'Cause black is a great colour.
That's such a random question.
that's so random. It's like, if it would have been white, it's like she 100% would have unfriended you.
Oh no, but yeah, no, why? I mean, no, I think silver I wouldn't mind. To be honest, you know me and my deals, if it said it cost £55 and now costs 23, I am buying you.
What, even if it was white?
Oh, well, let's not. I don't have many friends, so I don't want you to unfriend me.
I'm a slave.
All right, Brittany.
Oh, yeah. I cannot hold it.
How did we just go off
The wind.
How did we get
The wind blew us away.
our fans?
Oh, yep, it was them.
Oh, guys, I've got another skill.
What?
Basically, it consists on drinking every single day.
Oh, yes, sister.
So me and Erica are
My
forever
kidneys must be like, help me.
drinking. What's going on? My shoes must think I'm dead.
Yeah, and my bras.
How great has it been?
Yeah.
I know, free the
Oh my
tits.
God, it's been amazing.
I think we should never wear bras again.
I've genuinely considered that. I'm not even lying.
And it's so bad, you know why? Because I'm in meetings and sometimes I just hold my boobs up like for comfort, and then I forget that I'm on camera and I'm like, oh,
It's the
never
best
mind.
thing.
Does not wearing a bra though make your tits sag?
Well, this is what I was going to say.
Asking for a friend.
Well, I think it does, because obviously it needs some support. But I was going to say, like, before having a baby, like, I loved my tits so much. Like, you know me, like, I wouldn't, like, when would I even wear a bra?
Yeah.
But now it's like, obviously with like breastfeeding, and obviously your boobs grow and then now they sag because now you're, you know, it's just your new life. Now I'm just like, I feel like I look better with a bra on, because now I've got that extra support. And now I can't envision myself wearing the tops I used to wear before the baby, when I could just wear it with no bra. And now it's like, mate, you need about how many tape rolls to stick your tits up.
If you wear it without a bra, your nipple will come out of it from the bottom.
like when I'm dancing and I like do a turn, like they're just gonna flap over my shoulder. It's so sad, guys.
You can
Literally, like, I've really considered getting my boobs like lifted.
It will whack someone in the head.
Honestly, it's so sad. And you know what's even worse? It's like, honestly, so Leo has decided, I don't know how, but he's decided that he wants to feed on the bed, but like on his belly. So he'll be on his back when I start feeding him, and then somehow he turns around and ends up with his belly on the mattress, and still have the boob in his mouth, and he like moves around with his bum in the air, and my nipple's just like what is my nipple? Like flubber.
Mama's Code.
Mate, there better be discounts on holidays because
I needed a holiday before this.
I can't do this here anymore. I need a holiday.
I don't know why you guys are getting excited, mate. 2020 is cancelled. Forget about holidays this year. 2020 died, man.
2020 died without even being born.
You know, this was the year I put lentejas in my back pocket and like
That's
nothing
so true.
happened.
Like this was, I received 2020 in a different city because I was like, I need to do this because 2020 is going to be my year.
I wore yellow underwear. It's meant to bring you luck.
Did you put the potatoes under your bed?
Potatoes?
Potatoes, isn't that a thing? And then
Maybe
you
in your town, babe. Not in mine.
and you put your hands under it and you get the half skinned potato.
What, did you get chips?
Where's the chips? I want chips.
The devil under your bed.
That's
gives
probably
you
why
chips.
I'm fatter every morning.
Nah, I know about the lenteja one. And then like running around your block with a bag, which that also failed.
And great.
Yeah. And try not to choke on them as you're eating them.
I think for when you're eating las uvas, yeah, do you guys make a dessert for every uva you eat?
No.
No, I forget. And at the end, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like I make my first dessert and I'm just staring at the TV eating. And then when I finish, mom's like, "Pido dessert," and I'm like, what? I haven't even finished the first one. It's so long.
You're just trying to like drink the champagne as well as the grapes. Like, how does this work? And you have to think about all your wishes. Like, it's just too much going on.
I think I'm going to prepare for this year and I'm going to write my wishes down. And then just whip out the list.
You've got the time now.
11:59. Yep, going to start working on
Everyone
that.
was hating 2019, but
2020 fucked us up the arse, mate.
Mama's Code.
Let's not. So can I eat my banana?
no, because how are you going to eat in it? Are you deep throating the banana?
Can you put it all in your mouth?
Knowing you guys be like, can you record yourself? It's the type of shit I have to deal with. I think I'm probably the most normal one out